In this clip, we will cache our simulations in Alembic files. So everything is ready now. We did the both animations. These two simulations aren't too heavy to calculate, but let's imagine they are. The only way to be able to keep working with heavy simulations and then later to render them will be to cache these simulations. I will hide my floral shapes here with Ctrl H and unhide the text with Shift H. If you are new to CG, you may not be too familiar with the concept of caching a simulation. Well, it's simple. Now we have all these mesh nodes and other objects which are all connected to create this final text animation. But this is quite heavy because there is a lot of parameters to take into consideration to create that final result. Caching the simulation will bake the animation as it is. We won't be able to modify the parameters of the simulation anymore, but it will be way easier to keep working with it. Basically, it's like exporting a geometry model, but with the animation in it. So let's do that. To cache this, I will select the text group in the outliner and then go to the cache menu, Alembic cache, then export selection to Alembic. Here, you should arrive inside the Alembic folder inside the cache folder of the project we set at the beginning of this course. As you can see, I already did the cache for both elements, but let's do it again together. I will give a name to my Alembic file and name it text_sim, and I will add _02 because I already have one, but you don't have to do this. Now, I don't want to cache the entire duration of my time slider because I know that my animation for the text starts at frame 1 and finishes at frame 50. So we'll select start to end and enter 1 to 50. Now, I just need to click on Export Selection, and there we go. Maya will calculate the Alembic file for me. Really easy. I will need to do the same with the floral shapes. I will hide the text, unhide the floral shape, select the group in the outliner, and go to the Cache menu, Alembic Cache, then Export Selection to Alembic. I will name this one floral_sim_02, and this one has its animation between frame 30 and frame 80. And that's it. I'll speed up the video and come back when it's done. Alright, both of my cache are done now, but before importing them, I will clean up the scene. So basically, I don't need everything related to the floral shapes or the text anymore. So I can really come over here and delete everything I don't need anymore. So I don't need this text anymore. We don't need that as well the p-cube here, which was the one we used to create the mesh 1 network. So I don't need that guy. I don't need the repro mesh anymore. I don't need that floral shape, the p-cube, which was for the mesh 2 network, neither that guy here and the fall-off object. There we go, now it's a bit cleaner. So just to make sure that everything is clean, we'll go to Edit, Delete All by Type, and History. Now I can select the floor and the gramophone and hit Shift H to display them. And now I will go to File, Import, go to the Cache folder, Alembic, and select the floral sim, import, and my floral shapes are here with the animation. And sometimes you can see a couple of glitches as you scroll through the first time, but don't worry, it won't be here at the render. And now I will do the same for the text, file, import, and we'll select text sim, click on import, and there we go. Here you can see a couple of glitches, but the animation is here, and these glitches are here only the first time you scroll through. Alright, in the next module we'll take care of the gramophone animation, but before moving on to wrap up this clip, let's have a quick recap of what we learned in this module. We started by creating the first mesh network and we had a look to the distribute node. We saw that there are many ways to distribute the original geo, but we used the mesh distribution mode to assign one instance of the cube to each face of the 3D text. We then used the mesh random to randomly modify the position of the mesh instances. We saw how to use the strength parameter to quickly achieve great looking animations. We used the mesh offset node to animate the visibility of our objects by modifying the scale values. We then learned how to attach each face of the text geometry to the mesh instances with the explode node. This allowed us to animate the text faces instead of the mesh elements. While going over again the process of creating a mesh network for the floral shapes, we had a sneak peek to the mesh editor window, which is a convenient way to edit a mesh network and jump between networks if you have several ones. Then we'll learn how to use a fall-off object to influence the mesh network. In our case, we used it to drive the appearing effect for the floral shapes. Finally, we'll learn how to cache the simulations to make sure we can keep working fluidly. So this is it for this module, and in the next one we will use again mesh to animate the gramophone. We will for that use other mesh nodes that we didn't use it so far, and this will allow you to see a different approach of the tool and more creative possibilities. So I hope to see you there.